Hi guys, and welcome back to Aseel by Sketchbook. If I sound too weird, that's because I had 3 coffees already and my head is exploding. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking about something that's opposite to your head exploding, that is getting stuck in a creative block. It's a common case and all of us feel it, especially creative people in creative fields. They feel stuck in a rut all the time. So let's talk about the cause or the reason why we have creative blocks. Basically in science, when we have a creative block, our frontal lobe is actually lower in activity. This is done by like a lot of researchers. I'll link down below a video that talks in details about this, and it's such a good video, so go watch it if you're interested. The interesting thing that the rest of our brain works in higher activity. So basically your brain is exploding with ideas and everything, but you cannot express them. That is the whole meaning behind this. And not expressing an idea, this is what causes the frustration, therefore it causes the creative block. There's not a scientific way on how to face the creative block or how to remove the creative block, and you can totally try your own way to get out of the creative rut or creative block. But here are 7 ways that I've gathered for you to get you out of the creative rut. I use them all the time, and sometimes it's just one method that gets me out of it, or sometimes all of them gathered together somehow. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of the video. So our very first way to unleash your creativity is to assign yourself a mindless task. A mindless task is when you sit around and your mind goes to a blank state of mind. You know, you can think about everything and nothing all at once. It really happens that when you are sitting in the car sometimes and you're driving, you don't really know exactly what happens, but something calms your thoughts down. So I think it's the first thing to do is to assign yourself a mindless task. It can be like organizing a drawer, it can be cleaning if that works for you. For me, I definitely go for driving. I love driving my car. When I drive, I just feel like it's very soothing, it's very calming. My second tip for you is to take a power nap. Now, power naps, there's a lot of different definition to them, but they're just 20 minutes and they're fast, quick naps. You don't need to stay asleep for a long time and you don't need to take a long nap. All you need is like a power nap. Napping and sleeping helps you neutralize your brain activity, which helps you get out or express those ideas that you feel that you cannot express. And you don't generally, if you have a problem in life and you go to sleep, you are more likely to wake up and be more motivated to, you know, at least work on it. Or if it's not completely solved, then you definitely are more willing to work on it. Tip number 3 is to actually go on an inspiration hunt. You can go to any website that you actually feel more comfortable with, depending on what you do in your life. I prefer to go to Pinterest and I prefer to look at what people have to offer from ideas, so I can look at it and I can get inspired from it. There's something that you need to know. There's no idea that is 150% original. A single idea in the whole universe is built on something. It's completely normal if you see something and you think you can apply it to your creative situation, or if you read something and you can apply it to your written, you know, situation. And if it helps you to like start from there and build on your own original idea on top of it, then that is good enough. So go ahead and make yourself a vision board or a mood board. Sometimes the way you get yourself inspired is not by actually collecting ideas that relate to that very, you know, project that you have a creative block on, but it can be a vision board, so you have like something to get motivated to work on the project if that's your problem, because you need to identify whether it's lack of focus or whether it's a real creative block. Rebel. Okay, so I was kind of right. The 4th step is to rebel. How do you rebel? Sometimes you have a certain brief. If you are employed in some firm, like they'll give you a brief and they'll tell you to follow the exact guidelines, or if you're with a client, they tell you, I don't really like this color, and that might restrict you a little bit, and that might be the root of why you feel like you can't get an idea out there, like, because the idea is actually there and you have it in your mind, but you can't speak it out loud because you feel like it's not going to get accepted or it's not going to get across to the other person. So what you do with this is you actually propose to the other you know, to the other person, whoever it is, it's your boss or it's your client, that idea that you have. So sometimes you gotta do what you want to do, and then sense from the other person how you can get to a middle ground. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, ignore the rules, ignore everything, and if it means that you fail at this attempt, then let it be. It's better to keep moving than to stand still and, you know, get pushed backwards. If you like this video so far, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe and hit the bell next to it so you receive notification every time I upload. Thank you so much. Tip number 5 is a very important tip, and if I look around and there's constant chaos in my environment, if I'm looking at my desk and I'm looking at a lot of clutter, it clutters my brain. It makes it very overwhelming for me to go ahead and to work on the things that I'm supposed to work at. So there's that. Organize your environment. Make sure that, you know, at least your desk is like set, and if you need to change something, then go ahead and do it. Take some time out, organize your desk, add a few plants or whatever tickles your fancy. If that doesn't work, then I really suggest for you to get outside. Go ahead and start working outside in a coffee shop or in a library or whatever you like. It will really help because people around you are most likely they're working as well, so there is this co-working atmosphere, but at the same time you feel like you stepped outside of your environment, and therefore you feel less pressure on your brain, and then you can get that stuck idea, you know, you can get it out little by little. And you know, a good cup of coffee outside never hurts anyone, you know. Tip number 6, I swear by it, it's a very good tip. And if it has changed what working means for me. Now, this is not really if you're stuck in a rut, but it's if you lack the focus to actually get yourself out of that rut, and that is the Pomodoro technique while working. What is Pomodoro? There's plenty of videos online about Pomodoro effect, but I use this app right here. I use the Focus Keeper. So what I do is I set the timer to 25 minutes, and this is like the suggested amount of, you know, time that you're supposed to spend, and you only focus on one task. That's the key. So you put all of your effort in this task that you feel you're stuck in. Then what the app does is that it calculates 25 minutes, and then it will give you 5 minutes break to go ahead and do whatever the hell you want. And then it does that for 4 rounds per one time. After 4 rounds, what you get is a reward, which is 25 minutes. Usually you feel like you don't want to take that break because you are already in the momentum and you want to keep going, but it's totally up to you if you want to like take it and have fun and enjoy. It works very well because it creates a fake deadline, which stimulates your brain cells to actually get more active. There's also plenty of apps that do the exact same thing, so it's like it auto calculates the Pomodoro technique. I'll leave them all down below, the name of the apps and the links to them. So the 7th method is you actually go ahead and brainstorm. It's scientifically proven that you can get more ideas out of your brain, get into a more creative zone once you do the brainstorm. So what you do is that you write a word in the middle of the page, and you start writing everything that relates to this word. So for example, you can write your name, or you can write, as an example, you can write spa. And then you start thinking about everything. When you think about a spa, you think about almonds, because the spa that I used to go to, it had almonds, and I write it down. I write almonds, and then from there I go like towel, I go to like lavender, and then you go ahead and you brainstorm all the words that you can possibly get out of your brain onto that paper. And I guarantee you that one of those words are gonna get you the inspiration to get those words outside of your head and to be able to express yourself, which is why you got stuck in a rut or found a creative block in your way. It will knock it right off that road, and you can get back to being creative and being the amazing creative genius you are. So yeah, that's all I have for you for today. I'll be linking a lot of things down below. I also have a blog post saying those steps if you want to go over them. So I'll link my website here, but I'll also link it down below. And let me know what you want to see next. Let me know how you get yourself out of the creative block. It was amazing hanging out with you, and please hang out with me on my social media. I'm more than willing to interact with you and to talk to you and to know from you whatever you want to see next. And have a great time of the day wherever you are in the world. See you next Saturday. Goodbye.